Welcome. My name is Simon Norton. Currently, I think the date is early October 2021. I'm in La Paz in Bolivia. So this little tool that I built here, I created just out of my own experiences. I've spent the last 20 years on a sort of a path of an internal exploration, and one of the things I discovered there is that I always kind of knew I had four different aspects of myself, but I wasn't, I really didn't pay any attention to them. So, for example, I knew I had emotions, but I didn't know how they worked, and I never really bothered to find out. Well, I have now, of course. So what I really discovered was throughout this process was that I discovered these bodies, and I really discovered that just how disconnected I was from them. So I created this tool to help you. It's not a test. It's really to help you to get a snapshot of how connected or not you are with your different bodies. And one analogy I use quite often is, it's like, for me, it's like having two arms. If I don't know how to use one of them, life becomes challenging. And it's the same if I don't know how to use my emotional body, for example, then life can become challenging. So So I think all of us are fairly familiar with our fact that we've got a physical body, and this is generally where we experience life. We're all fairly comfortable that we've got a mental body, our minds, where we effectively create our lives. We all have an emotional body where we feel life. And finally, we all have a spiritual body where we know life. So if you think of your spiritual body in terms of intuition, that's what I mean there. So what I've done is just created a little questionnaire here just to sort of help you just to work out how connected or not you are with your four bodies. So under the physical body we've got here, the first question is my body healthy? So I've just filled this one out as an example. So you score yourself out of 5, each question out of 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. So just how you feel about that question. So first question, of course, obviously, is my body healthy? Well, that should be fairly obvious to most people. It could be possible your body is unhealthy and you're not accepting it. So I would encourage you to be really honest with yourself. Is there any aspect of your body that's in pain, that's not working the way that you think it should be, or things like that? I understand how my mental and emotional body impacts my physical body. So I really can't go into too much detail there because then I'll be giving you the answers. So really, it's just how much do you know about that? So in this example here, the person's total score was 6 out of 10. So in other words, 60%. So their connection with their physical body is sitting at 60%, or how well they know it. The next one there, our mental body. So the first question, I know how my mind creates my reality. So what I mean by reality is, that if you think about it in the morning when you first open your eyes up, that picture that you see and all that sort of whole situation, all those thoughts that come flooding in. And, that's what I mean by reality. I know how to quiet my mind. So for a number of us, we have a lot of thoughts going through our minds constantly. So just, what is your ability to actually quieten that noise? Under emotional body, I'm aware of how I'm feeling moment by moment. So I don't mean I'm feeling good, which is most people's response. So what I mean is, what feeling are you feeling, or what emotion are you generally feeling, and are you aware of that? Or are you aware that you might actually be able to feel the actual energy of your body? So do is part of your body feeling heavy or light, and things like that? So just how generally are you aware of how your body is feeling and what you're feeling? I release unhealthy emotions from my body. So examples of unhealthy emotions might be worry, fear, stress, and things like that. my experience has been that those are the emotions that I need to move out of my body in order to heal it and to be happier. And so the word release there is very different. Most people generally tend to cover up these uncomfortable feelings with alcohol or drugs or sex or work or whatever it may be. So there's a very big distinction between actually knowing how to release it and, of course, covering it up. So I'm talking about, do you know how to release your unhealthy emotions? And last one there, spiritual body. So I know what my intuition, gut feeling feels like. So I think, generally speaking, most people have had that I've spoken to have had an experience of their intuition. And generally, the story is fairly familiar or similar, and that is that generally people, they're doing something, but they feel like they shouldn't be doing it, but they do it anyway, and then things don't turn out the way that they'd hoped. So that's generally people's experience of their intuition is when they don't follow it. So I guess the first question there is, do you know what your intuition and gut feeling feels like? Secondly, there, do you I make life decisions following my intuition. So, most of us, I spend a lot of my life making decisions from my mind, weighing things up, writing lists, pros and cons and things like this. And especially for the last 4 or 5 years of my life, I've been living it by what feels the right thing for me to do rather than what I think is the right thing to do. So if it feels right, I do it. And if it doesn't, I don't do it. And quite often my mind is telling me the opposite to what I'm feeling. But I've learned to have faith and to go with what I'm feeling. So that's what that question's about. So yeah, just to finish off, so then just to remind you, this is not a test. It's simply just a way for you to sort of see how connected or not you are with your bodies. So, and be as honest as you can with it. There's nothing wrong or right here. It's just purpose is to give you a snapshot, and then you can decide from there what you want to do. So, yeah. And if you have any further questions or you'd like to know more, or then just feel free to contact me at my website there, simonnorton.nz. All right, well, have a lovely day, and hope you enjoyed this talk. Okay, goodbye.